Welcome back to my channel. This is Ben Asare. So today we're just going to show you one more automation process that you can use for your daily task. In this series, I'm just going through a few automations, simple automation stuff you can do daily with your Excel sheets. Very simple. These are not complicated ones that you can do on a daily basis. And then with the help of ChatGPT, just automate some of the things that you do and make your spreadsheet pop or come alive. So if you can see my screen, let's go through it. So what I'm going to do is that today I'm just going to create an automated highlighter. So if you're a project manager or somebody who usually have web conferences or team meetings with your client and share your screen to go through some spreadsheet stuff or some items on a weekly or periodic basis, then you realize that sometimes it's very difficult for your audience to follow itemized stuff on the spreadsheet, right? So, say for instance, if you have a list of items and you are going through it one after the other, sometimes you just have to be clicking to be aware of. I mean, to let your audience follow the itemized stuff you are referring to. So let's quickly do an example. I'm just going to get some data from the web, and then we can use that to illustrate what my point. So just go to data. I just want to get some football data. Get data from other sources. I'm going to get it from the web. So I mean, this process is the Power Query process of getting data. So if you're not aware, I think there are a lot of videos around that you can refer to. So I'm just going to put in the URL for a Wikipedia football ranking. So if you can see my screen, this is a Wikipedia football ranking of all goal scorers. I mean, it has various tables, right? But what I'm interested in specifically is this one. So I just want to know the top 5 players with at least 5 goals at the World Cup tournament, right? So the various. So I just want to import this table into my Excel sheet. So I just have to copy the URL, yeah, and then just paste it in Excel. Click OK, and then it should be up. Whilst waiting, I'll grab a cup of coffee, right? But I think it should be in now. Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. So you just have to wait. Okay, dokie. So this is the particular table that I want. Players with at least 5 goals at the World Cup. I'll preview it, transform it a bit, see if we can transform this data. Transforming process is just like cleaning it, making sure that you have what you want at the end of the day when you do the output. So you can see that I have the header row and then I have another row. So what I'm going to do is that get rid of this. So I'm just going to go to use first row as headers, click that, and then it looks a bit clean. Stretch it up here a bit and then see what I can do about it. It appears everything looks okay, but my only problem is I don't want this notes column, so I just right click and then remove it. It's gone. And I just want to distribute this data, right? These dates. So you can see that the first player, Miroslav Klose, he had tournaments from 2002 to 2014, right? So and then same with the rest, but some of them also have just one tournament. If you look at Gerald, no, just Fontaine from France, he only played in 1958. So I just want to split this column so that it has different columns for each of the dates, right? Each of the years or each of the tournament years. So what I'm going to do is that with that column highlighted, I will just go to split column, and then I'm just going to split it by delimiter, because I believe most of them have common delimiter, and then that delimiter is comma, right? So I just go by delimiter, and then it asking me comma. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So quote character, I don't want any of that, and then I'm just gonna click OK. So easy peasy lemon squeezy, it splits all the tournament years for me, right? Yeah, and then the ones that do not have any tournament years, it just puts now. This is what I want. I'm happy with it, but I just want to make sure that this is tournament. There's no dot one, so I just rename it. Double click here, the header, and then just get rid of the dot. Tournament one, right? And I'm just gonna repeat that for this one. Unfortunately, I have to do it manually. If you have a way of doing this quickly, just let me know. But I mean, this is the pain, right? I'm just gonna make it tournament 3 for this one, and then tournament 4, tournament 5 for the remaining. Tournament 4, and then the last one will be tournament 5. Okie dokie, I'm happy with it. So let me just do a quick glance through. It seems to be okay. Right. So I'm just gonna close and load, and then close and load, and then I'll load it onto the spreadsheet. Bam, 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 bam. It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Spreadsheets have been very slow lately, but I believe it will load as quickly as possible. And then it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Voila, I have the data. I'm happy with the structure. So now let's go to the main topic, main reason why we're here. We've gotten the data. So what I want to do is that anytime, like for instance, if I'm sharing my screen as I'm doing now on a web conference or on a Teams meeting, anytime, sometimes if you're following some of these lists, it's very difficult to follow along, right? So this is a table. It's quite easy to follow. It's easy on the eyes, but still, just want to highlight those particular rows that you are talking about, right? So what I want to do is that anytime I select any row, it highlights in yellow so that my viewers or my audience on the call will know the particular item we are talking about, right? So that is what I want. So I asked ChatGPT to give me the code, and then it did. So as you can see here, this is what I asked ChatGPT to do for me. I asked it to write an Excel code that highlights in yellow only selected rows from range B3 to H15. That is on the previous row. So this can be adjusted, right? Remove the highlighted yellow row when a different row is selected. It gave me this code, but I needed to tweak it a bit, and then I asked it to. I asked that the code is not highlighting all selected rows within the range. It came back with an updated version of the code that highlights only one row at a time. I mean, basically, probably was just the language that didn't sit well with ChatGPT. So, I mean, it gave me a corrected one. So, what I want to do is that the range is different from the current Excel file I'm working on. So, I will trick it a bit, but first I need to copy it and then go to the developer tab. And then on the developer tab, I'm just going to double click the sheet with this particular name, right? And I'm just going to paste it, right? So here I'm just going to do a few changes to the range. So in the previous one, I said B3 to H15, which is not correct. Here I want to highlight from A2 to K, and the last one is K102, right? So just K102. 102, and then A2, right? Yeah, that will be the first. Right. So within this range, anytime I select any of the rows, it will highlight for me, right? But if there's any, I mean, if it goes beyond the range, it will not select or it will not highlight. So I'm happy with it. I'll just click the run or the play button, and then I need to rename. I need to name the macro, right? So I'm just going to call it highlighter. Create, and then I'm done with it. So I'm just going to play it and then ask it to run. So I'm just going to minimize that, and I'm going to start selecting the rows. So you can see anytime I select that row, row number 2, you've seen that Ronaldo has been highlighted, right? And then there's an interesting fact here. I'm gonna see there's a guy who's a Ghanaian who scored 6 goals, and he's the only Ghanaian outside Europe or South America who has scored 6 goals or more than 5 goals. His name is Asamoah, the baby jet. Here he is. So as you can see, he scored in 2010. He scored in 2014. Should be another cell. Yeah, he scored in 2006, 2010, and 2014, right? So, I mean, that's how I wanted it so that I can really, I mean, people can easily follow, right? When there's a highlighted row, right? So it becomes easy. So I'll just leave a link below this video with the code. All you have to do is copy it and then go to the developer tab and then just paste it into your developer tab, and then it should run. Just make a few changes to the range, and then you are good to go. You don't need to do any major thing, and then you are done. I hope you like it. If you do, just give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, and then I'll see you on the next. Bye.